Yes. Reminisce, reminisce, reminisce. That's how we do it, man. Carry the tradition of saying Kofa, man, because sometimes we got to go back and collect what we forgot. I go by Logic, and I'm here with my brother.
I'm Bender Supreme, the one and only. One love.
Man. That's what's up, man. Hope everyone is keeping warm out there. Yo,
Mm.
I'm telling y'all, man, we getting that 1980s type of snow.
Oof.
You know,
Yo,
this
man.
is yo, check this
Yo,
out.
come.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say,
A
like, I
couple
had
times. Yeah. No, go ahead, drop.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, like, I have I had a cousin that came down to Toronto, visited over the weekend, specifically to see snow. Now he's been planning this for a while now, couple months. He's like, he lives in Florida, right? So he was like, I want to come out here to see snow. Like he's seen snow, but he hasn't like got the experience of it. So I was like, okay, cool, yeah, come through. You know, February is a good time. But he little did he know that he literally came on like the perfect weekend for like the real Canadian snow experience. I was
Yo,
like, yo, we haven't got this kind of snow in like 18 years. Like this
and
is
yo, this is the number one top most record snow that's ever hit Ontario. I saw it's like the actual record.
okay. It's like
Officially,
the record?
exactly. Yeah, the snow just happened. It's the most ever in Ontario history ever.
Really?
Yes, the two snowfalls that we had, the most
Wow.
snowfall I think to fall in like a 48-hour period.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah,
like yeah,
yeah.
and I think and the thing is, I think your fam looked out because it's not too cold. It's not, but it's like
It
mad.
was
So it's like hellas. I see people with toboggans and all the snow people are
man,
like, oh man,
you know it.
it's tis the season,
You
like
know it.
it's snow season.
Yo, all of that, man. I went tobogganing, man. Like, you know, I haven't done that in years. Went with my daughter and just enjoyed it. It was such like a vibe, yo. So but yo, the roads are crazy, man. Like I was out earlier, and you know I'm inside, and I'm not going back outside till tomorrow. So
Nah, man. Nah, it's such lockdown. It's so good. I'm like, nobody's doing nothing. Everybody is just snowed in, and nobody should do nothing. We're all just taking it easy and safe. And
yeah,
I just went out and I shoveled already like 2 or 3 times just my little walkway in front of my house, and I'm like, this takes me back to grade 8. This just feels
that
like
man, that's what I was saying. I was like, wow, the memories of spending hours and hours outside, you know, in the snow. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Building snow forts, snowball fights. You know those. Yeah, man, just crazy. Just enjoying it, man. Just being outside, and like you said, like even though it's cold, it's tolerable. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like super cold. So yeah, my cousin experiencing that. He had a blast when we got all kinds of photos with him in the snow, and so I'm sure he's gonna have fun sharing that with his friends back home. You know, so yeah,
Oh
man.
man, yo, I don't think he could have got a more perfect experience of snow because it was like it's snow that wasn't too like duddy or oppressive or
Yeah,
it didn't like ruin everything. It was delicate, soft. It wasn't
yeah,
too windy. It's
right.
like nice snow for pictures.
Exactly.
It's not too icy and it's not too cold, but it's like snow is like we're here and it's like okay,
We're
we got to
here
deal with you, but it's not
for
like
real.
it's not like ruining life, except we do got to make a mention of did you see that Delta airplane that flipped
Oh my god.
at the
Whew.
airport at Pearson?
I
Whoo!
saw the actual. There's footage of it like landing, how it landed. Because I was wondering, I was like,
Whoo!
you know,
I
you
know.
see
It was like
after the it's just
how,
upside
how,
down. I'm like,
how,
what?
what, like, yeah, for real, like,
It was
how?
just the way how it landed. Like it landed a little too hard, and it just did what it did, man. But yeah, they're saying like there's no fatalities. I think there's a few people that were injured, but
Yeah.
God bless that everyone got out safe. And I can only imagine how like frightening that experience would have been. Whew. And right
Yeah.
here in Toronto, in Pearson, like I'm like, there's just so much happening around us, and not to mention like there's been planes happening out in in the states as well. You know what I'm saying? Like we're hearing all this stuff, so I'm just like, hey man, got to be cool. Cool.
Multiple air fatalities. Yo, that bomb that went that plane that flew down in Philadelphia or whatever that just hit the
You
neighborhood
know,
was
what I'm
crazy.
saying? Yeah, like I don't know what's happening, man. Like there's a lot going on, and whenever this energy happens like this, man, my go-to is just observation before participation. Let me just take an inventory of what's happening around here, because
Oh,
there's a lot of
for
energy. You know what I'm saying? So
for sure, man. No, you definitely can't get caught up, and you definitely have to. I'm like, yo, I don't want to make too many judgments. I am reserving because there's information that has to be collected. Like things are weird, and I gotta do some journalism and research because who knows Wataguan. But man, I just want to say one more time, man, that was so nuts when the plane landed.
Like boom,
It's
and yeah,
just like it lands, and it's like the wheels got slippery or something, and just went whoop, just flipped like
yeah,
a pancake, and then it started smoking. I was like, oh my god, it's on fire. He thought it was gonna
yeah.
explode, but it didn't. But like it was just you just saw it just the wing just you're like,
That's
I've never
it.
seen that in my life. Like,
Correct.
yo, I you see that in movies, but like you're like,
Yeah,
no,
and
you're like,
right
oh
here
man,
in
that was not
Toronto.
special effects.
Crazy, man. Right here in Toronto, man. So God bless to everybody, you know what I'm saying, who was on that flight and families, because I'm sure I would have been hella worried if I knew that anybody I was close to or knew that was in that circumstance. So I hope that everybody's getting like the supports and medical attention that's needed. And I'm just glad that there's no fatalities, you know what I'm saying? So and shout out to the pilot, you know what I'm saying, for being able to like land it as best as he could in those circumstances. So
That's
yeah.
right.
That's
That's
what's up, man. But so check in, man. How you doing, my brother, man? Like, with all this snow and whatnot. Are you managing the snow? Are you like avoiding it? Like, are you leaning into it? Like, you tell me how you're interacting with this weather.
Well, I did already do a rooftop photo shoot. Had some fun up there, and yeah, man. No, I walked and bought a couple. I bought some new headphones today, so I was waiting for the streetcar and it wasn't coming. So I was like, "Bun this, man. I'm gonna just walk." So
Oh,
I just
yeah,
walked 5 blocks through the snow, and yeah, man. No, I'm actually kind of enjoying it. I joyfully went to shovel a couple times while it was still
okay.
coming out late at night. It was quiet, and I was like, this kind of takes me. I don't have a big sidewalk in front of my
Yeah,
apartment,
but it's enough though.
so
Yeah,
yeah, it wasn't like shoveling your parents' driveway is like, oh man, it's like two hours of sweat. You're like
right, right,
suffering
right.
as a child. But I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go out here for like 10-15 minutes and just shovel and feel the snow and have some fun. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, man.
Let's see.
Nadia's right though. Yo, man, tell me about your experience, man. How checking in with you, man, and how's the snow treating you?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. No, I'm out in the snow. Well, the first snowfall, I actually went to the Toronto Islands, and
What?
yeah, it was like incredible, incredible. And I probably shouldn't even put it out there because I don't want nobody stealing my ideas. But no, like it was incredibly like beautiful and peaceful and just like, yeah, there was like nobody around. You know what I mean? But I have a full snowsuit, so I'm equipped to be outside for hours. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I was on the island for a good like 3.5 hours, just like walking around. I brought my drone, so I got a bunch of like really cool drone shots from that angle. So I'm gonna be posting that soon. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's how I've been enjoying it. On the weekend, we went to me and my daughter. We went to Riverdale Park. You know what I mean? So the classic legendary hill, going tobogganing, and it was crazy, man. I made some posts. Anybody who's following me on Facebook or on TikTok, man, you see some of those videos, and I'm just enjoying myself, man. It's just pure inner child healing type vibes. You know what I mean? I'm just like connecting and just enjoying with the elements. That's what my thing. It's like when the weather is like this, we just got to lean into it, appreciate it, and I feel like every season has its own medicine and its own like awareness that it brings for us. We all like summer, of course. Like, who doesn't like summer, man? But we gotta appreciate all the seasons. So when summertime comes, it's like, yo, we really out here. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is, man. But I've been definitely enjoying this snow. Like I said, it reminds me of the '80s, and I've been telling my kids this from time. I'm like, yo, y'all don't even know about the snow, man. Like, you don't even understand. And now
Yeah.
I will be like,
See?
see, this
Yeah,
is what I'm talking about.
exactly. And global warming is real, man. We
Yeah,
have
man.
had some of the mildest winters in the last few years that have
Yep,
ever happened in my lifetime.
yep, yep.
I remember, Ontario used to have hella snowfalls. Like I had Toronto snowfalls. Ottawa, like man, you go 5 hours north and it's worse. It is colder. There's more
Yes,
snow.
can
Like
imagine. Yeah,
being right beside Lake Ontario, there's like a lot of things that get kind of warmed up. So
yeah,
Ottawa does not have that luxury, and Ottawa winters are brutal. And
true.
and and now yo, this is a nice flashback, man. This ain't like the worst of the winter. This is just real snow.
Yeah, true indeed, man. True indeed. So I know last time we weren't here online, but I don't know if we really got to speak about the Super Bowl and Kendrick Lamar's performance and some of these like viral interpretations of things, and people are really bringing in like the scientific breakdowns for like all the lyrics and all the symbolisms of the show and whatnot. But one thing I'll say, listen, man, like Drake and Kendrick are two different like planets. You know what I'm saying? Two
Yeah,
different dimensions, and it really boils down to I mean, how you look at it, right? I mean, I'll just say this: my take on the Super Bowl performance, just in short, that wasn't a performance for entertainment. That was literally a protest. You know what I'm saying? Aside from like the elements of Drake, which people like will focus on, which is it is what it is. I think all the other symbolisms represent it was a protest, and it wasn't meant to be entertaining. It was meant for certain people who are looking for that type of validation and awareness to be like, hey, look, we are here unapologetically, and we're going to take the world stage, and we're going to bring, the truth, our truth to the table. So, from that perspective, what I mean, I thought it was pretty cool and pretty powerful. And the last thing I'll say to it, don't get into details or whatever, is that I like the fact that it's getting people to think. I mean, this is like a lost element in hip hop to me, man. That knowledge of self, where we would dissect the lyrics and make meanings that may not have been the meaning when the artist created it. But that's the beauty about art. We can like add life to it and make meanings of different things. And I'm sure Kendrick Lamar is probably reading some of these comments and the way how people broke it down in like pie charts and graphs and whatever, and he's probably like, yeah, it wasn't that deep though, but hey, I'll run with that.
yeah, like yeah. He's like, I don't disagree with
Yeah,
that.
I'm like, hey, that does make sense. I'm like, yo, it's like, yeah, I didn't think about, I'm sure there's probably stuff that he's just blown away by. But just the fact that people are so invested in using their brain and thinking and not just, having music that just like, spoon fed to us where we understand it right away. I think that's a beautiful thing. Like we need critical thought. I think that's crucial. That's how we move society forward, right?
You're absolutely right. I want to say this really quick example. It's online. Nas is talking to this old white woman about it's one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen.
I love it.
And
That's good.
Nas is talking to this old white woman, and she's like, I just listened to It Ain't Hard to Tell for the first time. And when you say like she just quotes a line and
Oh,
she's like, yo, when you say streets, and she just says something, she's like, did you mean this? And she refers to this very thing that is very much not Queensbridge and not just takes this really ill left turn of interpretation
yeah.
on Nas's line. And you literally see Nas's face go, no, that's not what I was thinking, but that's dope.
See
He's like,
that?
yeah,
Listen,
like
that's what I'm talking about.
like you see Nas in real time being like, that wasn't the original meaning of the lyric, but the song is like 20 something years old now, and like an old white woman is gonna hear something in It Ain't Hard to Tell different. And Nas is like, your meaning is fresh too. That's
Yeah.
like now you're giving it like a next level. And it's
And
just like that's just like hip hop at its finest.
that
So
is
shout out to anybody who writes anything on that level, that multiple
that's
meanings.
it.
Yo, I just have to say, that just reminds me. The
Yeah.
illest thing I saw 2 days ago, Barrington Levy.
Okay.
Barrington Levy is just, he said one of the most beautiful things I've ever heard in my life. He goes, artists, he goes, let me say it perfectly. He goes, musicians, write some songs with meaning and lasting power. Because
Ooh.
for all musicians, your songs are your pension. He goes, this is the only pension that real musicians have. He's like, yeah, it's very Stevie. He's like, yo, man, I wrote this song in 1974. This one right here. It's just start singing some song, and he's like, I am still getting paid off this song. I'm
Let's
still
go.
performing this song. This song is from 1974. And then just picks a couple random songs that were like 30 or 40 years old, and he's just like, this is
Bro.
still, and he's like, and he would just put something in it where it's like, this meaning is
Tell
still relevant. Like this is a
me.
love song or a protest song, or like
It's
these
still
lyrics still vibe 35 years later. So I can still perform it. I can still I still like, I'm not, I'm, it still speaks for me. It
That,
speaks for the
yeah,
people, and like, it still sounds good, and it's not some dirty throwaway. And he's just like, this is my pension. I was like, yo,
uh,
bro, and he's like, this is
that,
all we got. He's
yeah.
like, so I had to just spread that, man.
No,
Very,
that's such a dope way to put it, and it makes it so that the music that you're creating is intentional, you know. And even with, when when I was doing music, I still dab a little bit, but when I was like really in it, you know what I'm saying, it was all about speaking our truth. I was never really one to like follow trends or do whatever's trendy. Even with beat selection or lyrical content, it was always about like, I just do this because this is what I like. And I look back at some of my records, like 20 years ago, which I now put on streaming platforms, by the way. So y'all can check out Logic with a K416 if y'all want to see some music that I recorded about 20 years ago and see if it still holds up to this day. I want y'all to go do that, man. Go on Spotify, check out, LOGIK416. Let me know if the music still stands out to this day, man. Some of those songs are like 20 years old, 15 years old. But it speaks to, like you said, like when you have music with a message and it's true to your heart, it really does stand the test of time. And the album that's online is called It Will Fall. That was literally recorded in 2004, which was a street release that I did with Misery, man. Shout out Misery. And
shout out,
I'm saying, like, yeah, it was all protest music talking about basically what's happening to today. What I'm saying? I could have like put it out and be like, hey, new album, and it would have like
yeah,
the times of right now. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, we got to speak our heart, and I know you do that too with your music. Because the last thing I would want is to put out a type of vibration that I don't even really believe in fully. To be like, ooh, like why did I put that? And like that's the song I'm known for, but I hate it with all my heart. Like,
yeah, for real.
it's like,
And then
nah, man, we can't.
yeah, like
I'm sure
5
there's a
years
lot of
later,
people like that.
you're right. You're right. And you can't even like, you don't even want to perform it 5 years later.
No,
You're
but
like
you have to.
embarrassed of it. Yeah.
But you have to.
But you have to. And it's just like a ball and chain around your neck. Absolutely not. And that's why like pro black love dipped and just real, like, speaking for your city, speaking for your
Yeah,
family. That's those songs just
all of
last.
that, man.
And
All of that, man.
yeah,
Yeah, man.
it sounds corny, but it's like, yo, man, like you just got to be visionary, yo. So
Mhm.
visionaries make things that do like still sound ill forever. So yeah, shout out to that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. In terms of like breaking news, I know you mentioned about like ASAP Rocky and something is going to be happening. I don't know if you're like tapped in on the sidebar trying to get the updates and see what's happening, but you want to give like the people them a quick rundown of like what is happening today because to be honest, I'm not even paying attention to that case. I'm just,
I
but
yeah, I had yeah, I had yeah, I had you're right. I had half an eye on it. I didn't watch. I watched some of the. I read a lot of the
okay,
trial. I mean, I'm gonna just put this out here because I'm on some Malcolm X shit forever. I'm
Mhm.
for justice and truth, no matter who's against it, and
Yeah,
I'm against injustice and truth, no matter who is for it. So, like, he- in reality, he's guilty. Like, he did it, and like, I'm not gonna pretend like he didn't do it. Like, he tried to shoot up his friend with this like what like he yeah man. So I'm pretty sure he did it. But and there's some video footage. You
mm,
don't see the actual shooting, but there's like some stills and like there it was like under a concrete pass. So the shooting kind of you see Aesop with the gun and then he moves under
oh,
like a concrete pillar when the shooting happens. So like you're
God,
like
yo, God.
there's evidence of him holding it and and then he says that it was a fake prop gun, but like they didn't bring in the prop gun, they didn't even bring it to court. He didn't testify. He didn't even defend his own name. So like, and like some of his boys are like, "Yeah, you tried to kill me, man. Like this is what it's about." And like
Right.
the crew is falling apart. So I'm like, "You're guilty of some of these crimes for sure." I didn't watch all of the testimony. I saw some of it, so it's just kind of like it's
Mhm.
honestly, I never thought of this, but to be honest, it's kind of like the end of New Jack City, where the crew starts just beefing on each other and ratting out each
Right,
other, and like
right,
Aesop, this right is being like, "You did this to
right.
me," and like, yeah, that's
So
kind
true.
of like what's
Yeah.
going on, and
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's all. That's for real. I just thought of that, but that's for real. What's happening? And like the crew is like that crew is over. They're all there, and
They had
like
their moment, man. They, they definitely brought that new generation, man. When they came up, man, it was proper still.
yeah. So I mean, so it look. I think 10 to 14 years or something like that, around that approximately. It looked like the prosecution was looking to put him in. He turned down a plea bargain a couple weeks
Mm,
ago, and
okay.
the plea bargain was something like reduced it to like 4 years of probation or 3 years of probation and
Wow.
like 2.5 years in jail. And like it looked like he should have taken it. A bunch of it's not everybody, but some people are like, dude, you should have taken that fucking plea bargain for real. Just like
Yeah.
the Tory case.
Right.
And so it kind of looks like that. And like I'm just looking any minute now. It's supposed they say it's 7 p.m. The verdict was supposed to come in.
Right.
Oh yeah, I mean a few other things. Rihanna showed up in court a few times and had the kids
Yeah.
there.
That
So
emotional support. That's peace.
yeah, but
Yeah. Well, I just hope the situation gets sorted out accordingly, and it's just unfortunate when I see these men, and particularly black men, and getting caught up in these situations when it's like, yo, you have like the winning lottery ticket. Like, what's really going on? You know what I'm saying? Like,
in
all you have
reality,
to
he
do is
doesn't.
chill.
Yeah,
You
you're
just have
right.
to chill. You good, man. You're good.
Yeah, rapping is just a frivolous icing on the icing of the cake of you being married to him, you being having two children with a billionaire. Like
And first of all, man, he
you could be
should be,
just a father for the rest of your life and just like have a pretty awesome life. You,
like he should just like marry her one time and just be like a house husband. You know what I mean? Man, taking care of the kids, doing dishes, walking, whatever, man. Meals ready to go. What do you need, dear? You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, peace, chilling. Like, what do you? Anyways, as they say, man, like, it's the hood mentality, man. You can take someone out of the hood, man, but you can't get the hood out of their heads. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And
yeah,
that
and
takes a
it
lot of like self work and a lot of like unpacking and shadow work and all that. And you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people ain't really ready for that, man. But it's very necessary, yo. Very necessary.
it's very necessary and vital. And like he might throw a decade away of not only like being married or just having a relationship with Rihanna, but like his kids are just the oldest one is 3 years old or whatever.
Mm,
So like you're
yeah,
gonna be out of your kid's life for like 5 to 10 years or whatever, maybe more, and like it's over you shooting at your crew member. Like it's a very irresponsible, unnecessary thing. Like you really didn't have to do. Like
yeah,
so, yeah. I
yeah. Oh,
mean, that's a good question. Is that what she wants?
yeah. Well, I mean, this is like an assumption on the sense of Rihanna being like a mega superstar and whatever. And I know that she pops that in and out whenever she wants. And all she wants to be a mother. And from my understanding, ASAP Rocky deliberately want to be hands on. From my understanding, they didn't get no nanny and whatnot and all these different things. So that's why I was just kind of saying, hey, ASAP Rocky, man, you can be that hands on father, and just let your woman really be that superstar and do her thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I see that as a balance of like working the household or whatever. But who knows what's happening behind the scenes? I don't know. And I try not to get too invested in like celebrity lifestyles. You know what I'm saying? Like, but anyways. Oh, when did the incident happen? Do you know?
Yeah. 2021. Um, yeah, his former friend. It's against his former friend ASAP Relly,
Hmm,
and yeah. Yeah, he just it was attempted murder on his friend. They had a fight, and he just pulled out a gun and shot at the dude. The dude said there was a bullet that grazed his hand, and he had a picture, um, and said that it just there's a bullet just grazed him. But other people are saying, "Oh, you just scraped your hand on the ground." So there's a few conflicting pieces of the story,
yeah.
and
Oh yeah.
yeah,
This is before they got together. That is a good question. That's a good point. Like, was that before or was that like during them?
um, November 2021, it looks like the incident happened.
Okay,
So
yeah. So
I,
yeah,
yeah,
they're
I
together.
think they were together.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think
Okay.
one of the yeah, I think one of the kids was still. Yeah, yeah,
Okay, so then I still keep my point then. You know what I'm saying? Just chill, fam. Just
yeah,
chill.
yeah. So this is what it comes down to. Like, um, the defense is saying he shot twice at him. One of the bullets grazed the dude's hands, and then his basic defense is saying, no, you just scraped your hand on the ground, and I only had a prop gun that was incapable of shooting bullets. So that's kind of like some of the main parts of the case, and it's just one person's testimony versus another person's testimony, and there's some evidence. I watched some of the trial. They've shown a lot of the trial people on the stand, and it's just chaos. There's like really, it's madness. So,
Mhm.
yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
and,
man.
yeah, it's just messy. I have no idea what. I think he's. I think he did what he is being accused of doing. I don't know what
Yeah.
his celebrity and his money and his lawyer and the history of whatever is going to turn out. You know, he can't. Nobody can call it until the verdicts come out. But yeah, we'll see. And like, you got two kids and you're with Rihanna. So did you fuck it up or not, man? Like, hope not.
Man. Yeah. Yeah.
Hope not. And mostly for the kids.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. We'll see.
Interesting. Yeah, that's a good point still. Well, yeah, man. You know, when kids are involved, man, like it's a whole different world. You know what I'm saying? It's anyways, that's a whole other topic. We'll leave for another day, man.
True, true. Yeah. Yeah. Actually, yeah,
Yeah.
Nadia, mad respect for what you're contributing. And to be
Yeah.
honest, I think it'll be maybe a clearer conversation this time next week when we
Mm,
know what the verdict comes
right.
in. Like, I'm trying to refresh my shit here, and because
Trying to-
I saw something that said the it's because it's in Los Angeles, so it's 2 hours behind us or 3 hours behind us. So I heard.
oh,
Oh,
that's why.
oh, maybe that's why. Maybe, yeah, maybe
Yeah,
it's 7
that's why it's
p.m.
not.
LA time. Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah,
God.
yeah.
The thing that
On
I
that
saw,
Eastern time, you're on that Eastern time. You're
yeah,
like, and it's like, no. So, all right, well, we'll know. We'll keep
yeah.
an eye out for that.
So,
Yeah.
anyways, soon.
Yeah, man. So so the boy Drizzy's doing his thing in Australia. I saw this video clip of okay. I know that Smiley's an OVO artist. I don't know if TV Gucci is. I know he's affiliate. I wonder if he's kind of in the same category as like P Rain. Like it's like they are OVO, but not like at least like from the label, like official label artist, but they're like part of OVO as a collective as independent artists, I believe, or something like that. Anyways,
Yeah, I mean,
TV
it seems
Gucci,
like there could be people in the crew versus people
yeah,
on the label.
right. So TV Gucci and Smiley, I guess, live streaming while they're cruising in a whip in Australia, and they got in like a car accident or something like that. Like, so was Smiley with a selfie stick, and he's like, yeah, go live, and then something happened, and I mean they're fine. It wasn't like a anything crazy, whatever. But I was just like, oh, okay.
Wait, thanks. All
Like,
right.
gotta
Well,
be careful on those roads, man.
I hope they're all right. Oof.
Yeah. From my understanding, it seems like, but it was just something that went online there, and yeah. But everything's looking proper in Australia, man. Shout out, Photo Astral, who is doing his thing, man. He's worked his way up to basically become like Drake's like official photographer. You know what I'm saying? Which I think is just dope. You know what I mean? Like he's definitely worked and grind, and I think this is like his like second tour with Drake.
Yes.
And so hey, he's doing his thing, man. I follow him on IG, so I keep up to date with all the behind the scenes joints. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to look that up, man, that's I believe it's like photos by Astral. Yeah, I think that's his IG handle, man. So go check him out, doing the thing.
Hold on a second. Let me just do that.
Yeah. But speaking of it's like something we're talking about because before this live we're talking about Drake and of course talking about Drake, but Drake and Kendrick and battling and whatnot. And then I started to think to myself, I'm like, yo, a lot of people don't understand that Drake has literally been battling since he got into this, right? And all battling in a way that has to where he had to like prove himself or felt like he had to prove himself. I remember when he dropped that first single, like Replacement Girl, and it was like, it was it had too much of a commercial vibe for like for us at that time. And and then there is the beef with that crew with the offense. You know what I'm saying? Which was with like Aristo and Little's General, rest in peace to Little's, and a few other folks. And I know that Drake had his I don't know if it was a crew or a collective, but it was like Johnny Rocks goes by Rocks now. He's also part of OVO, and Bishop Brigante was part of that circle. Ken Masters and a few guys. And this is like like 2007, 2008, 2009, somewhere around that kind of era, like just before like the mixtape was popping off. And people can go check out Drake's OTA live interviews about that. You can talk about Drake, beef, Toronto beef, whatever, and you'll find some old interview footage of him, and you can see that he's always had that like confidence of like, I'm not going to back down. I'm going to come up, and hey, if he takes an L, but he's going to bounce back and make it happen. In this old beef, he didn't take an L, you know what I'm saying? Like, he definitely held it down, but it was just, one of those things where I was like, yo, something? He has always had to battle. That has been a very consistent thing throughout his career. You know what I'm saying? Of always having to show improve, for whatever reasons, but it was just an interesting thing that I had to, remember. And this is the Reminisce show. And because we're from Toronto, we got those insights. The rest of the world don't know that, and so I just gotta salute him on that, because he's been doing this, you know what I'm saying? Been doing this. But I will say, man, the Super Bowl, that was a protest, okay? It's not for entertainment. You know what I mean? If y'all want to be entertained, that's not what it was, man. That got hijacked for whatever, that like 8 minutes or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I'll just leave it at that.
You're right. And I mean, I listened to most of the new PND album. Actually, let's give a little shout out to the interesting controversy about the cover. Did you hear about that? Did you see?
I absolutely.
John River. Yeah,
I saw that, man.
John River said some pretty cool things, and salute to the maturity of his stance and the way he feels. And to be honest, in certain ways, I mean, I live downtown and I've used a lot of the iconic things constantly. Yeah. I've got 500 pictures with the CN Tower in it. Yeah. I would never claim with the CN Tower as, but like, I literally, it's at the bottom of my street. I see it. As far as dudes in hip hop, I might be the closest Toronto hip hop dude to the CN Tower in a certain way. Yeah. I'm near like Graffiti Alley and certain things and stuff, but like I wouldn't like claim it, even though it is kind of my neighborhood. So with that being said, like, right next door he's Saga dude, man. I didn't think it was like stealing to use the Marilyn Monroes, even though like, yeah, like y'all weren't it's not like John put it in his video. Like John didn't put it on an album cover, so it's like, it's all good.
Well, from my understanding, he did use that album cover. Okay. So they showed like the parallel of it together. Now, okay. Shout out John River. You know what I'm saying? I definitely support a lot of what he does and what he stands for, because he is an interesting story too, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was a moment where he had like and there's a moment where he got sick and he was like in a coma for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And came out of that. So for the moment that happens, I'm already like, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like, that already gets a certain level of props that I'm just not even gonna, but like this, but I think just on some hip hop shit, like, when it comes to album covers, like this isn't a new thing, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, we remember like, Ghost and Raekwon talking about people biting Nas's a baby album cover, and with Biggie and this and that. Like, I mean, it's, to me, it's a hip hop thing, where we're coming from this, don't bite this and that. With that being said, I think it's an opportunity for John River to say his piece and whatnot, and I respect that. Is it that deep? No, I don't think so. But it is interesting how much traction it's getting, and people are talking about it. And I'll say this. I'll say, like, the Drake and Party Next Door cover is fire. It looks fire as hell. And it's so timely because it dropped in the middle of a snowstorm, so it looked like it was like aligned with the energy that was exactly happening in Toronto. Right, like, but we know they're in Australia right now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, well, of course it's Valentine's Day or whatever, but it just so happened to be a snowstorm, and the cover looks like they took it like the day before. You know what I'm saying?
fire. It's a great Toronto cover, yo.
No,
And
it's cold. Like it feels like it. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
it just feels like like brr.
Mhm. And like it, if I was misinformed and like John River actually used that as a picture, then like word,
Yeah,
then you were the first to do
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. Indeed,
But
indeed.
like
He
that
deserves
being said,
credit for
it's like, yo, it's iconic, and y'all, anybody in Mississauga has the right to use that in any fashion or form they
yeah,
want. I haven't done anything musically with it, but I've taken pictures of the
yeah,
Marilyn
yeah.
Monroe Towers and done my own like sexy sex work pictures with it. So like, yeah, man,
No
yeah,
doubt.
exactly. But it's like, yo, man, Drake, like, Drake is sitting on the CN Tower on the cover of Views, man. He didn't say like I'm like anybody can use
Well,
these.
no, hold on. No, 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 no. If someone did a photo of them sitting on the CN Tower, okay, everybody has done the CN Tower, but sitting on it, like a little, miniature sitting on the tower, then okay, Drake is definitely the first person to do that. We'll
Yep,
give him that.
yep.
You know what I'm saying, Tory Lane's actually added on. It's kind of funny because he's like, locked up, but he's still on socials, or maybe he gets people to work his socials for him. But he had a comment. I can't remember the exact like quote of it, but he was basically, insinuating that no, those buildings are too legendary, and he kind of went off on this whole thing about, it's a building that those towers are legendary, and there has been a lot of like female encounters. If you get what I'm saying, like that was the angle that he was going on. So he's like, "Yo, it's too legendary for one man to claim that those." You know what I mean? So he was kind of going from that angle. I was just like, "All right,
Oh wow, I didn't
easy."
see that. Wow, I want to see
Yeah,
how he worded that. Jesus.
yeah,
Gosh. But yeah, no, I mean, and that's the thing. It's all interpretation, and it's like, yo, both of them. Everybody can use anything and take it in different
yeah,
ways and stuff. Like it's like Times Square or like whatever. Like, there's tons of people that have used it. So it's just like, how do you run with it if this is like something that you represent in your
yeah,
hood and whatever. So it's just like another person. I'm like, to be honest, I wasn't aware of John Rivers' use of it before. I saw Party Next Door's ones first, and then I became aware of John River, and I'm like, okay, well, I respect the origins of
yeah,
things.
yeah.
I'm like, yo, you used it first, but you didn't use it the way that these guys use it, and also you use it
Right,
during the daytime, and these
right.
guys.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
They went in a way different direction with it artistically. Like it's not just the towers themselves, the red shit on the top, the winter, I'm like, yo, man,
It felt cold, and they're all like
yeah,
bundled up in
like,
the in
yeah,
their,
man,
they're
that's different. And
yeah,
like
yeah,
you
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
you didn't do that. So like it's just there's levels to it.
True indeed, true indeed.
But I'm
Yeah,
like, at the end of the day, I respect them both as Toronto artists.
yeah,
Respect to
man.
John
Shout
River,
out,
respect to Party Next Door, respect to Drake, and
yeah, man.
respect to them blood clot Marilyn Monroe's towers because them things are sexy.
That's it, man. That's
I
it, man.
loved and I'm like, what, my one's like, I thought the beats were too similar on the album, but I thought it was really cool that Drake is like just making just music and just being like, it's not all about the beef and just made a whole. And this has been a long awaited project. Um, some people are like, yo, the best Drake comes out on collaboration projects, and I was like, that's an interesting thought. But that
Yeah,
being said,
yeah.
it's a very Canadian thing. Like the first song is called CN Tower, and he's totally talking about the CN Tower and what color it is. And I was like, I like the Canadianness of it, and
We
you like
need
it.
we need more of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like that. That's
like I'm
really
not mad at that stuff.
centric to where we are. Yeah, true
Yeah,
indeed, true indeed.
it's like he's collaborating with Canadian dudes, very Canadian album, Canada on the cover. Yeah. So I mean, I know there's a couple other shout outs to some other American stuff, but like it's not. It's very mainly Canadian centered to
Mm,
a degree. And he's an international dude, so of course he's gonna shout out his vacation spots and like Texas and shit.
true
Houston.
indeed, man. That's it, man. That's it, man. So hey, like I said, I'm looking forward to the solo Drake album that apparently is going to be, some real hip hop bangers with no features. You know what I'm saying? As it should be. At this point, he's like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? And watch it still go number one. You know what I mean? To prove his point. Like that's the type of Drake that I like when he's like, yo, oh, y'all don't believe in the boy now? Okay, bet. Let me show you what's up. That's when he comes with the crazy fire. That's when he comes with the crazy fire. You know what I'm saying? I need that 5 a.m. in Toronto. I need that energy type vibe. You know what I mean? got a lot of enemies. Like I need that Drake. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, yo, man. All the songs sound like Drake featuring Drake. Straight white
Yes,
man, yo, man. I need
that's
that
what
5
we
a.m. in
need.
Toronto for real. Yo, that is peak
Yeah, man.
as a man. That dude was psychic on that record,
We
man. It's like,
need we need the stay scheming Drake verse. Like,
oh,
you know what I'm saying? Like we
yeah.
need, yo, I'm telling you,
I'm
man.
on one.
That's it.
Man,
Yo, I
I'm on
promise
one
you.
verse. Oof.
Yo, he come with that energy, it'll be off. Sell off, man. Sell off.
Yeah, man. Yo, man. Yo, homie needs to like go to a grimy studio. Just he needs to go where it all began and just be like, yo, I'm rich as hell, but like, let me just
Yeah. Like
right,
he
like
might,
everybody hates me right from
yeah,
the
he might need to
started
go to
started from
like,
the bottom part two, like lower than ever. Like,
yeah, like you know what I'm saying? Like going to the studio with like the stocking on the microphone and it seems like someone's basement in Weston Road. You know what I'm saying? Like all of that. You know what I mean? Like you need that grimy, man. That, you know what I'm saying? Like the essence, the Sankofa, the reminisce. Got to go back to the essence, yo.
go back to the
Bring
essence
it back
straight
to the
up.
basement.
Yeah, just be like, yeah,
You know what I
man.
mean? Like
Back in the
Project Bounce. You know what I'm saying? Like he
yeah,
needs to, like, you know, go
because
back in
like
the bag, yo.
for real, like when we say it when we're young, we're like, yo, the whole world's against us. It's because they don't know you, and they're just
That's
like,
it.
the world is
Yeah,
against
yeah.
you because like nobody's checking for you because you're just beginning. So it's like, but like
Right.
this, like the whole world knows Drake,
Oh,
and
yeah,
most of the world is against Drake. Like I am not against Drake. I do support that man, but like
yeah,
I'm not gonna be delusional and not pretend like the majority of the American rap game is cheering against Drake right now. Like this is Kendrick's best year without
yeah.
question. And like Kendrick's profile has never been higher, and like I was just thinking about it. What did yeah, give me your thought on this, man. What do you think is more damaging to Drake? Like what he went through with Pusha T or what he's going through with Kendrick?
Ooh, hmm, that's a good one. Because you're saying damaging.
Yeah, because
I think, well, I don't know. It might be a little too. It might be too early to tell on a technical level. My first thing, I was going to say like the Pusha T one because that definitely got him off guard. Like that really put him in a certain, like, yo. I remember when I heard that, like I was offended. You know what I'm saying by it. I was like, yo, this hurts, and it's not even me. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? It was like I was like, yo. And he did. He took his time to, like, you know, put out the Scorpion album where he did address like certain things, but there was that pause, right? Um, with this now, it's going to be interesting to see how he's going to like reintegrate himself in America. I'm curious to know, or is it going to be a thing because, you know, like from what I heard, I heard like one song or two off the new album, and I know that, you know, he did like that UK kind of flow. So maybe is he going to have more of a focus in places like Australia or Europe? It would be interesting if he just does something in Africa and just really, you know what I mean, like show and prove his blackness kind of vibe, where he's like, yo, you know what, I'm just going to Africa and just starts developing all the Afrobeats artists and just, you know, OVO Fest in Ghana. You know what I mean? Like I think if he does, you know, something like that, that would be really really interesting. But I'm curious to see how he's going to like reintegrate himself in America. Like, what does like the show in LA look like if he's on tour or going to Atlanta? And then you're probably not going to bring out these artists. You know what I mean? Because if he does, he you know, people wouldn't think he's a sucker. It's like, oh, look at this guy, like, you know what I mean? So
gonna look
it,
like pandering for real.
yeah,
No,
it would,
he's gonna come on some like the way Nas returned when he was like battling Jay-Z, like when Nas was the underdog in
yeah,
2000. And it's like Nas, what are you talking about? Nas as the underdog? Nas is a New York City superstar, but he was the underdog
Yeah.
when H to the Izzo was out on the radio. So it's like
100%. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
before Ether dropped, like people were like, "Yo, Nas is done. Nas is whatever." It's like, what are you talking about? Nas is done? Are you kidding?
But this is different though. Like this was a
I
little
know
bit.
I know
Yeah.
it's like the closest parallel. It's just like there's the story's different, whatever, but it's just like, like two like
I
kind of the
was even going to.
Clash of the Titans kind of thing.
I was even going to compare it almost to like kind of like an energy of like Tupac and Biggie actually. You know what I'm saying? Like because I feel that this like this stuff could have gone violent. You know what I'm saying? Like I do believe that the energy is at those levels where things could go in those spaces. You know what I'm saying? Thank God it didn't, and everything's blessed and whatnot. But in terms of just that polarizing energy and aggressive energy and all that, I mean, people were polarizing and aggressive with Jay-Z and Nas. So that is a fair comparison. But I think in terms of like, there's like a real potential that something bad could happen if things are not. You know what I'm saying? I never really got that with Jay-Z and Nas. I mean, maybe so, because I know New York is a whole different world. Like, New York is not a real place. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I mean, New York, hey, man, like, I know, hey, so I'll say that. But, yeah, that's
Uh,
just kind of like the thoughts.
uh, yeah, obviously Tupac and Biggie, there was murder, and I'm just trying to remember, was there shootings, but nobody hit during the JC? I think I'm gonna have to just double check that. But
Yeah.
but like, there was two people that were shot during the Kendrick and Drake beef, but they didn't die, thankfully.
Right, 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 right. Exactly.
It like
That's what I'm
got us
saying. Yeah.
close to, and like, yeah, so peace to those bodyguards, but yeah, no, but like it doesn't feel like it's at, it's just gonna be like, it feels like it's gonna be verbal for.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, at some point in time, people are, and this is why I keep bringing up Jay Z and Nas, because like it was a clash of the Titans, and then at some point they both real, and then at like some point they just like, even if it was like 4 or 5 years later, one, the rap game was moving way slower back then in 2001. It's 22, 3 years ago, yo. Like that Ether came out in 2002, and like,
Yeah,
so,
yeah,
but then by 2006, when Nas and Jay-Z, when Nas put out Hip Hop Is Dead, Black Republicans is on it, and he's got a song with Jay-Z. So like
right, right.
around 2004,
Yeah,
2005, like
yeah. True,
4 years
true.
later, these guys are like, we're
Yeah,
grown
yeah.
men. We're done. Let's let this go. And they grew up and moved on. So it's just like,
That was peace. That was peace. You know what I'm saying? For
yeah,
sure.
yeah,
Now,
I'm
is
not.
it possible?
Yeah, I don't, yeah. Is it? Are these gonna?
Do you think
Are
that's
these?
possible? You think it's
I
possible
mean,
that maybe in like, I don't know, like a significant period of time, maybe it's like a 10-year period, maybe like 10 years later, where people are a little bit more older and you know what I
I,
mean?
I,
So
I.
that's
You
what
know what? I'll just say right now, I hope it doesn't take 10 years, because these guys, I'm like, yo, Kendrick was on Take Care. Like, you guys
right.
actually were kind of all right for a little bit. Y'all, obviously, you weren't great friends, but like, you were acquaintances at some point. So like, I hope, and like this, I'm like, yo, when Drake is like, I've heard Drake say, he's like, yeah, I kind of like let go of most of my beefs. I don't care about them anymore, except for Pusha T.
Wow.
I will have beef with Pusha T until I am in the ground. It's like, yes, what he the what bringing
Yeah.
your, yeah, understandable. Talking about your son, the Adon, yikes. So yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I hope that Kendrick is more on the Meek Mill side of things. Just like Drake
Yeah.
don't
I
give a
mean,
fuck.
like it's wishful thinking. Like I would love to see that, like a grown man type conversation of them, talking about like, so just for the culture for hip hop. But probably not. It's probably not going to happen though.
Yeah,
Because
I don't expect it
they're
in the next three
no,
years.
not anytime soon for sure. But
Yeah,
from a fan perspective, it would be great to see because we need more examples of that, man. I'm tired of seeing, black men dying and going to jail and whatnot. And you know what I mean? Like we do have emotional intelligence. Let's use it accordingly. You know what I'm saying? Let's use
exactly.
emotional intelligence with each other. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And people remember there was a time where I mean, half the reason this thing happened is because they tried to make a song with all three of them, and these guys
Mm,
were the big three. And Drake ended up not getting Kendrick on first person shooter, and like, I want to believe that Drake intended on being like, let's all three get on this song, and like, and then
yeah,
Kendrick just decided for his own reasons, no, and then here we are now. Like, obviously, a whole bunch of choices later, and then J. Cole has stepped back, but like they were gonna be friends, so it's like, work it
yeah,
out.
true, true, true.
At
Yeah,
some point, I hope they can work it out.
true indeed, man. True indeed.
Not for a while though. But shout out to that shirt that Drake was wearing on his tour, that bullet hole shirt with all the smoke coming out of it. That shit was crazy dope.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That was sick.
Very, very clever. And
Yes.
yo, like just based on the footage I saw by Astro, man. Shout out Astro, man, for the behind the scenes and all that good stuff. Yo, man, Drake is having a blast in Australia. You know what I'm saying? Like, these guys are rocking like shorts and t-shirts. I'm out here all bundled up in my snowsuit. So, hey, man, he's not losing sleep over this. Like, Australia is looking lit, and they probably haven't seen him perform in a very long time. So the energy's extra on point. And yeah, man, he's just loving every minute of it, man. So big up to the crew. You know what I mean? The whole OVO squad, man, they're out there doing their thing. And regardless, I love to see Toronto people shine.
Yes.
I'm saying, like, I
So
still like it when the culture is being pushed forward, and black identity is at the forefront unapologetically. I gotta rep that, man. I can't. I don't
yep.
know how else to not. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's so from that perspective, like I said, there's multi dimensions of
Yeah.
that, and I like the fact that the protests took place at the NFL. You know what I'm saying? Like, took it to the streets, man. Took it to the stadium. I think that's like the first. You know what I mean? To have like a performance disguised as a protest. Just saying. Just saying.
Seeing it.
All right, yo. Well, on that note, man.
Yeah, I think that damn verdict. I think it is. I mean, the link I saw here says 7 p.m. EST. So it,
Eastern time.
yeah, it said
We are
Eastern
Eastern.
time.
Oh, that's what.
Yeah, we're Eastern. So yeah, but like I don't see. I guess it's late or something. But yeah, this link I have right here, ASAP Rocky verdict is in at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I guess it's late or whatever. So we'll be talking about it next week, maybe by
No, for sure.
9 o'clock or something, and we'll find out what happens. Yo, shout out Nadia.
Salute,
Shout out
salute.
to all the people in the
Big
comments watching.
absolutely. Big up to everyone always tuning in, and that's how we're gonna do it, man. Keep doing it every Tuesday, 7 p.m. live Eastern time. The Reminisce Show. Carry those traditions of St. Kofa, because sometimes you got to go back and collect what we've forgotten and bring back what is useful. But of course, man, this is all hip hop, man. So we're gonna talk about whatever is relevant to our culture and see what we can do to push things forward. Peace to everyone, and we're gonna sign off like that till next time. See y'all.